please just state your name and address for the record?
My name is Evie Kettler, and I live at 514 Lindsay Taylor Way. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to be here today and for having these meetings at a time that makes it convenient for people who work during the day. My name is Evie Kettler, and I'm here to ask for sensible changes to the current animal ordinance. Each of you have a copy of the current animal ordinance, a copy of the City of LaGrange ordinance, and a letter from HSVMA. HSVMA, Humane Society Veterinary Medical Association. HSVMA is an organization of approximately 9,200 veterinary professionals nationwide, including 300 Georgia members, with a focus on the health and welfare of all animals, including companion dogs. They are subject matter experts. You also have pictures of dogs from Troup County. This letter is signed by Sharon Crowell Davis, a professor at the University of Georgia. This letter was written specifically for meetings like this. You also have a copy of what I'm requesting here today. I recently had a meeting with Chairman Cruz and Eric Mosley. It is my understanding that you were given all this information and that no changes would be made. So I'm here today to show you why I believe these changes are necessary for the welfare of dogs in unincorporated Troup County. And I hope you will reconsider your decision and support my request. The ordinance currently states that dogs must have food, water, and shelter. But the ordinance is too vague. There is no clear definition. So I'm here asking for definitions to be added. The same definitions the City of LaGrange unanimously passed. The City of LaGrange now has one of the best shelter requirements in Georgia, at least in my opinion. The following is what I would like to see either added or changed. First, a definition of clean water. I know you wouldn't think that this is needed, but it actually is. Adequate water means clear, drinkable water in an adequate supply. Examples of inadequate water include but are not limited to snow, ice, rancid, contaminated water. Second, I would like to see padlocks be banned from being used on the body of a dog. We wouldn't think that we would need this, right? The City of LaGrange passed this wording to be included after I showed the city manager a picture of the dog that wore a padlock. You also have that picture. This is a 7.5-foot chain. And as you can see, it still has the padlock. I helped the dog that wore this padlock. Padlocks are unnecessary and add extra weight to the dog's neck. They're not needed for any reason. Currently, people are allowed to attach the trolley system to the collar of the dog. I would like to see it so they are required to use a harness only. Attaching the trolley to the collar means the collar would have to sometimes be placed on the dog's neck very tight so that it does not slip off. A tight collar causes their necks to become raw and it does not heal. I know I've seen that for myself. I would also like to see chains prohibited from being used whatsoever on a trolley system. Currently, there's nothing that says you can't use a chain. I also have a video here of 4 dogs that live in Troup County. One of them is no longer with us, the other 3 are. I would like to show that video, please. Tomorrow's going to be a Can you let me know when it's over? 'Cause and this is Jules. Jules. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Oh, it's okay, buddy. Is it over? That is life on a runner for a dog, and life in a 10x10 kennel that never got cleaned out. While it is true that some breeds handle heat or cold better than other breeds, the AKC and the American Veterinary Medical Association both agree that any dog can suffer from heat stroke or hypothermia given the right set of circumstances or prolonged exposure. Dogs need shade in the blistering heat, and they need bedding in the frigid cold. Experts agree that dogs that live in different geographical locations don't differ in their basic physical dog needs to maintain adequate health. What differs is the people's belief about humane treatment. Sometimes laws are needed to teach people about responsible dog ownership. In addition, I would like to point out that Troup County regulates the height of grass on a person's lawn and doesn't hesitate to find violators. The intent of the ordinance is to maintain the visual aesthetics of a neighborhood and property values. And in comparison, a tethered dog living in deplorable conditions, as you saw, is not only cruel, but it is visually unattractive on a property and can effectively lower property values. Why would you regulate the height of grass but not enforce the care of dogs? Here's a statement from Susan Smith, a realtor in LaGrange. As a realtor, when showing homes to prospective buyers, they notice this thing in neighborhoods, and they're appalled. They wonder what is wrong with people who do this type of thing, and comments are always negative. Why would you want to buy a house next door to a dog who is neglected and have to look at that every day? There's a lady here today that has had to do that. Now I want to tell you a story about another dog in Troup County. DJ lived his life in this kennel for about 4 years. He never came out of this kennel. He never knew what it was like to be around people. He never knew what it was like to be around other dogs. This was his life. He lived in that kennel you saw in the video. When I found DJ, he had no bedding. He had this poor doghouse. He was not protected from the elements. Unfortunately, DJ was surrendered to animal control and killed. I do not blame animal control, but what I'm trying to say is, how would you feel if you were pulled out of the only thing you ever knew and taken to the shelter around a bunch of barking, scared dogs, and I'm sure he could smell the death? How would you feel if that was your life and you couldn't talk? Now I want to share a piece of property in Troup County. I asked, this belongs to a friend of mine. Code enforcement went out to her house 3 times about this. I said, what am I looking at? I couldn't tell. This was illegal in the Troup County, Georgia. But the way DJ was living was acceptable. My suggestions are complaint driven. Of course, we're not going to go out and just try to find all these dogs who don't have adequate shelter, no bedding, or they need shade. But if animal control goes out on a call and they see this situation, then it can be addressed. The suggestions I've outlined are sensible and prudent. ordinance language that provides clear definitions of adequate water, shelter, and humane treatment should result in less complaints to AC, not more, if owners take good care of their outdoor dogs. If animal control picks up a dog due to neglect, taxpayers must foot the bill to take care of these dogs. And I don't know if I'm sure you know, because it does cost money for dogs that go to the shelter. Commissioners, it's time to hold owners responsible. Having a dog is a huge responsibility and it costs money. I don't know if any of you have dogs, but I do. And I know it costs money, and I know they get sick, and I know they need care just like we do. This is about irresponsible pet ownership, and it's time to hold owners responsible for their choice to have a dog. These changes would not affect owners who currently provide for their dogs. These changes are for those who do not. By providing specific definitions required to adequate shelter, water, and humane treatment, this ordinance would actually protect owners who are taking good care of their outdoor dogs and help animal control better identify owners who are neglectful. In closing, my proposal would help protect responsible owners and identify neglectful owners. Isn't our goal to make Troup County beautiful? This is not beautiful. I would like for you to take the information that I've given you, and I would like for you to look over it and consider that all these people care about the dogs in Troup County. Obviously, I do. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions? I can probably take a quick poll. I know that 3 out of 4 of us own a dog. You want a dog? I do. All right, so 4 out of 4 of us own pets, so that's all the same.
So I'm sure you understand that all I'm trying to do is look out for those that have no voice like DJ.
Right. Okay, thank you very much, Edie.